Yes, this one. Can everyone out there hear us okay? People in the back, yes?
You can use the mic.
People in the front?
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Maisel. This is Michael Karabash. I'm the better looking one. We are dental lawyers. What does that mean? It means that all we do is practice law for dentists. We have a law firm called DMC Law. We have a website called dentistlawyers.ca filled with tons of useful information. I suggest you go look at it when you need to kill time. Freeze in one room, check the internet on the other.
By the way, that video is us doing this same presentation 3 days ago in Palm Springs. So we had a test run.
Exact same presentation. Next time let's do it in Palm Springs again.
Yes. Okay. Now, we're not going to talk about legal mumbo-jumbo or the law, even though we are lawyers, because frankly I find it a little dry and dull, and I hear that there's going to be other people presenting. But if you want to know more about the rules, the guidelines, the regulations, I'd suggest these two sources. On the left, this is from Dispatch magazine this month. On the right, this is an article I wrote, which is available on our website. It goes through all the things you can and can't do with respect to marketing. Okay? Now, we're going to talk about marketing and increasing the value of practice through marketing. It sounds kind of strange, what a dentist and marketing have to do in common. But here's the end of our presentation and the beginning of it. The three concepts I want you to leave with are niche it, brand it, and spread it. And we're going to go through lots of quick examples to give you an idea of what these three things mean, okay? Why are we here? Why are we talking about marketing? Is it all doom and gloom, as per the latest economic report from the ODA? David?
I'm here for the free food.
It says, cue the evil music.
Oh, dun, 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 dun.
Forces at play. Have you guys all read that economic report, by the way? Yes, there's some nods. You guys all know. Yeah, Atul, he's got his hand up. Yeah, you read it. You're not even a dentist. Why are you reading that? Too many dentists, not enough patients. There's lots of bad things happening. So, do we have a solution? The solution is you want high dental IQ and high dental need patients. Those are the top right quadrant right there. The unfortunate thing is it says they're someone else's patient. So you have to somehow get them from their dentist into your practice, or you can try to attract one or more of the other types of patients, the procrastinators, the avoiders, and the emergency patients. So how do you get and keep good quality patients? Now, most people would say, just have a good rapport with your patient, have strong clinical skills, and spend more on advertising. Well, David, what do unhappy patients say online?
They tend to not be the clinical issues. They tend to be what I would call the lifestyle issues.
The experience.
The experience.
What do the happy patients say?
Same thing. Not the clinical issues. They're talking about the experience of being at the dental practice.
What about advertising? For those of you who've read that latest economic report, you see that there is no correlation between spending more on advertising and getting more gross. So the report concludes that dentists are just doing it because everybody else is doing it. If they don't do it, they may lose patients. So, do we have a solution? Our first idea, niching it. This is a book they made me read in business school in between all the parties, and it was by Michael Porter, and he basically came up with a strategy. I know it sounds kind of weird, dentists thinking strategy, but trust me on this, it works in other industries. Couldn't it work in dentistry? So the idea behind one of the strategies is niche it. Right? And as Dan Pisak, who's one of these guys who helps dentists with their marketing, he's a big proponent of niching and branding. He'll say, you want to pick the one thing you're really good at and focus on that and be able to deliver exceptional services and an exceptional experience to your targeted audience. And you can even charge premiums. So that's the idea behind the focus or the niche strategy. John Allen's Club. Who's heard of John Allen's? Hands up. Jim, you haven't heard of John Allen's? You've heard of it? Yeah? My brother says to me, $72 is what I paid for a haircut. I said, Tony, you're crazy. I said, what did you get? He said, you walk into John Allen's, it's an all-male grooming club. Sounds kind of weird. They have one downtown, Bay Street, right now. And you walk in, they hand you a beer. Then you sit down, you ease back into a nice chair, and they start to give you a mani-pedi. And this is for men, by the way, for men. And they give you a hot towel massage. Eventually, they cut your hair. But it was a very interesting experience. He's going to go back. Men can pay $850 a year and just keep going back unlimited time for the full service.
And you don't even have to have all of your hair to go.
I'm trying to get him to go. He can go in for the mani-pedi. Now, the interesting thing is John Allen had an amazing quote. It's very relevant. This was from CNN Money. We have guys that I think before John Allen's, they look at this as more of a chore. I gotta go to get my haircut. Oh my God, it's like a root canal. I wanted to take the chore out and put it into the man's lifestyle. You have the gym, you have the relationships, you have the business, you have John Allen's. And I'm trying to create a new attitude towards this. Make it easier, make it comfortable. Wow, chore, root canal, make it easier, make it comfortable. Does this apply to dentistry? This is an interesting concept. How much would you pay for a pair of white socks? Not a lot, because it's a utility. It serves a purpose. How much would you pay for a nice purse to the women in the audience? A nice purse, maybe $600, $700, but all it does is it holds your stuff. But for some strange reason, it makes women feel better. Tell my wife. I tried to explain to her it's not worth it, it's just a purse, but $1,000 apparently is not enough for a purse. So what you want to do is convince people, your patients, that dentistry is not a utility, it's not maintenance. It is a lifestyle enhancer. Here's the old perception of dentistry, and here's the new one. The old perception is, oh, it's cleaning, it's drilling, it's expensive, it's painful. And the new perception of dentistry that you guys have to communicate with your patients is it's healthy, and it's pain-free. We have sedation and new tools. And it's an investment in yourself. It's going to get you that job that you want, that significant other. David, what do you think?
What is the first thing everyone puts on in the morning when they get up? Someone shout out the answer. First thing in the morning you put on when you wake up.
Smile.
Who said that? You just won the prize. First thing you put on every morning, the smile. Do your patients understand that or not?
By the way, we don't actually have prizes, so thanks for screening us. A man's dental practice. For the men, close your eyes. Real quick, come on. Really, seriously, close your eyes. Imagine this. A man goes to his dental office, and he shows up early for his appointment for a change. He's greeted by a beautiful, bodacious babe. She hands him an espresso or a cappuccino and greets him and prepares him for an indulgence. She walks him down the hallway, which is littered with sports paraphernalia, into the lounge area, which is adorned with all sorts of bear rugs. He eases into a reclining chair, sets the program for Swedish massage, grabs one of the GQ or golfing magazines on the side, and looks up at one of the large screen TVs playing one of many sports channels. He waits 15-20 minutes, and an attendant comes and tells him, "You're now ready for your appointment." I'm just giving you guys a pretty crazy idea, but the idea is if you niche it and you brand it, it will spread. So what is a brand? David?
Okay, Michael, a brand is the experience an existing or prospective patient has from start to finish and in every possible way, example, online, in person, over the phone, etc., when dealing with your dental practice.
You just read that.
Is that correct?
Yes, it is, but you don't get any points for reading. Okay, how do you develop a brand to go viral? This is a great book. I just picked it up, and it basically says if you want a brand, a message to go viral, you have to do 6 things, 6 steps. And I'm going to show you lots of examples of how these things permeate through your target audience to attract the types of patients or people that you want. Social currency. Whatever it is, it's got to be cool. Cool things spread. Triggers. Things have to be connected with each other. And I'll show you guys all sorts of examples. Emotion. Making the private act public. There's got to be some practical benefits. And wrap it up in a story. You guys ready for some examples? Who knows about Please Don't Tell? Okay, Please Don't Tell is a happening bar in New York. It started off as a hot dog establishment. You see the bottom right corner? Criff Dogs. These 2 guys, Brian and Chris, they had a license, a liquor license, didn't know how they were going to get a bar, people to come to their bar, and so they took over the bubble tea shop next door, and I think it was Brian who came to an antique shop, and he found an old phone booth, an antique phone booth. Here's what it looks like. Okay, the thing about this phone booth is you go in, you press 2, a trap door opens up, you enter, and here's what's on the other side. Beautiful bar. And it's called Please Don't Tell. They do 0 advertising, right? And it's all just a really weird, cool experience of going to this bar. And there's 60 bars in and around them, but they've won rave reviews, and people absolutely love this whole experience, this secret door experience. Here's another one, Barclay Prime. Hands up. Have you heard of this place? Jim, you heard of Barclay Prime? You know everything, Jim. Okay, Barclay Prime. I think they're in Jersey, and it's a steakhouse, and they wanted to come out with something cool, so they come out with a $100 Philly cheesesteak sandwich. It's got caramelized onions, American Wagyu, it's got truffle sauce, it's served with a bottle of champagne. $100. I mean, you may not go there to eat this, but it's cool, and it will spread. Us. I think we're kind of cool. I don't know. We've got this online automated legal form thing happening. It's kind of cool. John Allen's. Triggers. I have to think about John Allen's every time I get my hair cut, which I did recently, which I didn't do at John Allen's because I wasn't in the country. But next time it will be John Allen's. Triggers. For breakfast, you're thinking Cheerios. They somehow managed to get you thinking breakfast, Cheerios. You want to eat something healthy? Cheerios. Kit Kat. Did you know that Kit Kat went through this whole changing of brand from, the whole break thing to now they want you to think, next time you're having a coffee, have a Kit Kat. See? You just have to have your brand go hand in hand with things that are already existing in your patients' day-to-day lives. Emotion. Westin hotels. Who's recently been to a Westin hotel? Hands up. What does it smell like in the hallways? Do you guys remember the smell? It is white tea that they're pumping into the halls and the reception area, and I got to tell you, it just makes you feel fantastic, right? And you can actually buy it, the diffuser, and you can pump it into your offices. You know that smell is the #1 trigger of memories? If I come to your office, do you think it's a good idea for your office to smell like cheap carpet and fluoride? No. Emotion, Groupon. How many of you guys know Groupon? Hands up. Okay? Missing out on the fear of missing out on a deal. That's how they get you. Right? BMW. I don't have to talk much about BMW. They've got emotion coming out of the wazoo here. Dos Equis. Who here wants to be the most interesting man in the world? Drinking Dos Equis. That's all you got to do. Just drink that. You'll be surrounded with beautiful women and fighting bears and have interesting stories to tell. How many of you guys have seen this commercial on YouTube? You've seen it, right? It's the most amazing thing. Jean-Claude Van Damme, yes, he's still alive, is in between two of these large trucks, and the large trucks are going backwards. And as they're going backwards, they start to separate, and he's doing the splits. He did not get injured. He got probably paid a lot of money, and it is cool. And the idea is that I think Volkswagen is just trying to promote their new design, their new brand, and that video has gone viral. Check it out. It's really cool. Insanity. Who here does Insanity? Nobody? Atul? Do you do Insanity? Atul? Yeah. Well, I try to do Insanity. It's not working. But the idea is you're taking a very private act, which is you are in your basement working out, and if you finish their 60-day program, you submit your results, and they send you a t-shirt. So you walk around with this t-shirt. A very private act has become public to spread the message. Same thing with Movember. The very private act of growing a mustache it all of a sudden means something. Same thing with wearing the Livestrong band. How many people walk out of a store and you're carrying a bag with their logo? Everybody, right? It's a private act. It's shopping. But all of a sudden everybody else knows where you've been and what you've done. Practical benefits. Did you guys know that the hotels got into a huge war about 5-10 years ago over betting? Who has the best betting? And they picked up on the practical benefit of sleeping in an amazing bed is that when you wake up, you feel like $1 million, right? We're back to Insanity. What's the practical benefit of working out to Insanity? It's 60 days, no equipment, and you get results. You get to look like this guy, Shanti. How many of you guys know Shanti? You personally, you know him? I'll talk to you afterwards. I don't know. TurboTax. You sit in your home or your office, you do your taxes. Sorry, Atul. Sorry. I mean, that's not for these guys. It's just an example. Okay. McDonald's. It's everywhere. Did you guys see that commercial where there's a guy going out in India, Romania, Siberia, and nobody speaks English? He's the only guy, and he's like, I'm trying to look for... And they're like, no English, no English. McDonald's? Oh, yeah, it's over there, yeah. It's everywhere. Stories. You got to wrap it all up. The 6 steps get wrapped up with stories. How many of you guys know this guy? Or have heard of him? Jared from Subway. He's made $15 million over 15 years, and Subway has tripled their revenues because of his story. Partly because of his story. His story was, he was obese, he went into a Subway, he said, that's it, I'm having turkey subs, hold the mayo. He lost 245 pounds. Yeah, that's Jared. How many of you guys have seen this commercial? Dove Evolution. Come on, the ladies must have seen it, for sure. No? Go to YouTube tonight. Yes, you're nodding. You know Shanti too. You are important. I don't even talk to you after. Anyways, they start off with this attractive woman on the left, and they convert her into this. But what you don't know is that they Photoshop her face completely. They enlarge her eyes, they shrink her nose, they make her lips bigger. And so Dove is trying to get the story out that natural beauty is worth something. And Steve Jobs, tons of stories surrounding Steve Jobs. One of the quick stories is, you guys know the magnetic plug that goes into the laptop? You know how that came about in 2006? Steve Jobs saw, I think it was a Japanese rice cooker with this magnetic plug and thought, man, this is a great idea for laptops because people, they walk and they yank the cord and the laptop goes crashing. So he said, let's do magnetic plugs for laptops. And that's how it came about. Great story. Final message, and we're almost done here. Spreading your brand. This is the third book. The tipping point. So you've got your idea of how you're going to niche. You're going to pick the one thing you're really good at. Then you're going to develop a brand using those 6 steps that we just went over. And then you're going to put your brand in the hands of 3 types of people. David, what are those 3 types of people?
1 are the connectors, 2 are the mavens, and 3 are the salespeople.
So who are the connectors?
The connectors are the people that know other people in and around your community and in and around your neighborhood that can help spread your message through their connections.
Okay. Who are the mavens?
The mavens are the people that know things. They're the ones that have the knowledge and the understanding.
And the salespeople?
They're the ones that can either convince or get that message out to people that might not otherwise come to your brand.
That's my family. The connectors? That's my Akbar. My wife is Persian, so forgive me if you don't know what I'm saying. But he knows everybody. It's not 6 degrees of separation from Akbar. It's more like 3. He knows everybody. Okay? Mavens, these are the people who've always got the deal for you. They know the deal. Then they don't represent any of these companies. They're just going to tell you. And then my mom, every week, she's like, Michael, you have to go shop in this place and get this thing. And I'm like, Mom, do you work for these people? No, but it's a great deal. Finally, the salespeople. Apparently, in my family, I'm the sales guy. All right, and make sure to always have at least one handsome person that you're giving your stuff to. And that's my little guy. His name's Michael. He's 1. Summary: niche it, brand it, spread it. Cool.
Thank you, David and Michael.